It's February. It's Black History Month. And you know what? Black History Month has reminded me about some serious issues that I and many other people already have to deal with while being online. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to provide some context. Today is the 10th of February. It is 10 days into February. It has only been 10 days. And yesterday, the 9th, was announced the Black VTuber Awards, which were to be happening in June. And immediately, the response to that for a lot of people was to start nominating people who aren't Black, to start talking about how they need a white VTuber Awards, and people saying, oh, if you wanted to be a part of the normal VTuber Awards, why don't you just make good content instead of being bad? And, well, here we are today, and I'm sitting in front of a fucking monitor in order to explain a lot of this. And much of this is just reminded me, like I said, that being a VTuber while Black is extremely hard. But not only that, just being online while being Black is extremely hard. Now, before we go into this, this is not a, ooh, pity me. Everybody should feel bad for me. Go watch my videos because we don't get enough support. The reality is we don't get enough support, but I'm not going to beg people to change the way that they do things in order to, I'm just going to hope that they become better people. Anyway, so that was the current situation. Black VTuber Awards. Bear in mind, that was the 9th, right? We are now 10 days into February as of today. And this has been like the 10th issue that I've seen. There have been issues of people, rejecting people's commissions because they're Black, people calling each other slurs, like people making jokes about, oh, how I'm gonna do this because it's Black History Month. It's just chill out for a second. All right, chill out. I have been in this community since the end of 2020. I have been part of the VTubing community since like the VTuber boom, right? I have seen people come and go. I've seen people become really, really famous. I've seen people become famous and then decide this wasn't for them, and then they walked away. I've seen it all by this point. And the one thing that I've seen the most is how much people just don't want Black people in this community. And it's insane to me. When I started, I had a white model. My peak numbers are when my model was white. And some people will say, oh, well, that's because you were following the boom. This is a year afterwards. Okay. I used to average 40 viewers. I used to go viral on TikTok every single weekend. My YouTube views on average were higher than they are to this day. And bear in mind, I have more subscribers now than I did then. I also make objectively better content now than I did back then. Despite all of that, despite me being better at what I do now, despite me working on my screen presence, despite me working on how my energy is throughout videos or throughout streams, despite working on what exists in my streams, like to add more to it, whether it's sound effects or people having redeems that are like really cool sometimes, despite having stuff like that, despite me doing a better job engaging with my chat than I did at the start, despite me doing better editing, making better thumbnails, titling things better, coming up with better concepts, despite all of that, my numbers to this day do not match what they were back then. I first changed my model from white to Black 2 years ago, to this date, 2 years ago. And the response when I did that, of course, was a huge fucking question mark for a lot of people. They're like, are you making a joke of Black History Month? And it's not surprising that that's the first thing that people asked, because that's what this community's done repeatedly. I had to prove that I was Black. I had to go through and make videos with my fucking arms. I had to just talk about how this happened in the first place. And, at first I thought it was going to be okay when I did that because the reception was pretty positive. And that was until, a few months later when I started to notice some things. I've been hemorrhaging followers on TikTok. I've been dropping in viewers on Twitch. I would drop video views, and maybe some people would say, oh, well, you fell off, maybe you're sunsetting, maybe it's over. And sure, I'd willingly accept that if that was the case. The reality is every time I post on TikTok, I lose about 100 followers. I've lost thousands of followers since changing my model to Black. I've had a lot of people come into my chat, come into my comments, asking me why I'm Black, still making the same jokes from 2 years ago about how I'm the reverse Michael Jackson, or why is he Black now, or who the fuck is this? And it's tiring. I'm tired. It's tiring. It's very tiring. And every time I bring this up as an issue, I have people come to me telling me that, hey, maybe you should look at the content that you're putting out there. And, you know, maybe it's just so different now. And maybe the stuff you talk about is just so different that, you know, it's not making everybody feel welcome. And I get what they're saying. They're saying, why are you making your content black focused? But anybody who's consumed my content within the last 2 years can very easily tell you that that has not really ever been the case. I haven't made my content black focused because I don't really do that. I make videos about gaming and watching memes and doing forums with my audience and just laughing at a bunch of shit. And not once has that changed from me being white modeled or black modeled. It hasn't really changed. And it just goes to show that people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They want to come up with some sort of reason, that being my skin, as to why, you know, I'm doing a certain thing with my content. And the reality is, the only thing that's black about my content is me, myself. The thing is, I don't say the N word in most of my videos because it usually gets me bopped on fucking platforms because I'm using a virtual model. I don't really crack jokes that often about being black because I think that's fucking dumb. But no matter what it is, people will always tell me, they're like, hey, maybe you should look at what you're doing instead. And the reality is, I'm not doing anything different. I don't know why people tell me that. And I think it's because they don't consume my content. But that's besides the point. I kept telling myself similar things for the longest time. I was like, you know, maybe I just need to make better content. Maybe I just need to make better thumbnails. Maybe I just need to do this. Maybe I need to just be more entertaining on stream. Maybe I should add some music to things. Maybe I should add some subtitles to my videos so that people stay watching. And I've done all these things. The whole reason why I've improved so much as a creator the past 2 years, and if you look at it, it's really been the past 2 years that I've changed and improved so much, is simply because I've been fighting this uphill battle for so freaking long. And like I said, I am tired. I'm very tired because the reality is, no matter what I change, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. No matter what I change about things, it doesn't work. I'm not going to hit the same views on the same topic that I did when I was white, being black, because people don't want to see me there. They don't want me in this space. And it's not just the viewers, it's the creators too. If you look at the tweets on the Black VTuber Awards thing, it's fucking Clippers saying this shit. It's fucking VTubers saying this. It's like, dude, what the hell at this point? Because not only do the people with platforms not really want to say anything about it because they're afraid, oh, controversy. You know, it's really controversial for me to say, hey, you should not really like hate black people. What the fuck? And it's like, at this point, the viewers don't want me there. The creators don't want me there. The Clippers don't want me there. I wouldn't be surprised if the platform itself doesn't want me there. By this point, I don't know what to do. I keep having the same conversation with myself every single week where I'm like, maybe it is time for me to throw in the towel. Like I said, I averaged 40 viewers when I had a white model back in 2021. The other day, I streamed for an entire hour to 0 people. It's hard at this point. It is really, really difficult. And it's hard for me not to hate myself in the process because I go, you know, what if I'm just not doing enough? What if I need to be doing more? There's not much more that I can do. I can't change my skin tone. I can on a model, but like I can't just do that in real life. And I'm not going to be comfortable just pretending to be something else. So at a certain point, I've been really telling myself, you know, maybe it's just time to hang up being a VTuber and just call it quits. Clearly people don't want me there anyway. I'm pretty sure it's not really something that's going to be missed if I decide to stop, but at this point, I don't know what else to do. Yeah. That's all I wanted to say about this. And again, yeah, this isn't some pity party. This isn't, oh, go support me and whatnot. I don't care at this point. I'm done.